Welcome to the IELTS speaking test. First of all, let's talk about websites. What kinds of websites do you often visit?
Being a student, I have to do a lot of research for my assignments, and I often get access to Google for this purpose. But on the weekends, I often browse through food review websites like foodie.com to find a place with tasty food for self-indulgence.
Okay, so what is your favorite website?
I really like learning, especially when it's free. So those sites that I like most are Coursera or edX, which provide many college-level courses for no charge.
So what kinds of websites are popular in your country?
I think a lot of people in my country are really into social media, so I could say that Facebook and TikTok are two of the most accessed sites. And of course, people like free entertaining too. That's why YouTube is also very popular.
In part 2 of the speaking test, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're gonna say and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand? Okay, so here is some paper and a pencil. And I would like you to describe a useful skill that you learned from an older person.
I'm going to talk about a craft skill which I have recently learned from my uncle, and that is making book sleeves from discarded cereal boxes. I have always been really keen on reading books and recycling, and I always want to keep my book in excellent condition so that I can reread them later. But being an environmentally conscious person, I don't want to buy plastic sleeve to protect my books. My uncle heard about my struggle, so he offered to teach me how to make my own book sleeve from the boxes of my cereal for breakfast. My uncle also loved reading books, but he grew up poor, so he didn't have the luxury of buying any accessories for his book. And that's the reason why he had to learn how to make them himself. He told me to collect some boxes, some old boxes, some glue, a paper knife, and highlighters to make the sleeves. First, he carefully took a box apart and turned it inside out to hide the design of the package. Then he folded and glued it in a specific way into a book sleeve and then used the knife to cut the excess parts off. After that, he used some highlighters to decorate. Simultaneously, I followed him step by step. My first products wasn't really beautiful, and making the book sleeve was harder than what I had thought. However, after some trials with the guidance of my uncle, I successfully made a neat looking book sleeves. Now I make them for nearly all of my books, and I have even given some away. I'm so glad that my uncle was very kind and he taught me such a useful skill.
Okay, so we've been talking about learning skills, and now I would like to ask you some more questions about this. What can children learn from their parents or grandparents?
There are many things a young child can learn from their older relatives. First and foremost, it is cooking, and I think it's the most basic skill that is useful to virtually everyone. Another aspect of parental education that I believe is really important is personal finance management. However, in my country, many parents avoid talking about money and how to manage money with their children. And I think this is a great mistake because I have seen so many young people struggle with their budget. once they leave their house and live independently. So I hope that in the future, many parents may put more effort into teaching their children how to manage the money.
From whom can children learn more? From parents or grandparents?
Well, it depends on whoever the children spend more time with. People often assume children naturally spend more time with their parents, and as a result, they will learn more from their mother or father. Although this is true for many families, there's a growing trend, especially in metropolitan areas, that both parents need to go out to work full time, so they have to put their child in his or her grandparents' care. In these cases, the child certainly learn more from their grandparents.
Okay, so what kind of help do you think older people need?
The elderly need a lot of help, and obviously, people who live to old age will finally reach a point when they can't physically take care of themselves. So, this task will fall on the shoulders of their children or grandchildren. If they live alone, then they may need help from state-run nursing homes. However, besides that, I want to stress the importance of giving the elderly psychological support, which is often overlooked. Loneliness and boredom are quite damaging to their health, and that's the reason why their relatives need to talk to them, have dinner with them, and even take them on vacation for pleasure.